Good chilly morning from Governor Dodge State Park and Cox Hollow Campground. I've been here before. I did a long walking tour of the trail between here and Stevens Falls, and I barely touched the campground. So I'm back here several years later in the fall, obviously, and the season is just about over. This is late October. It was 83 degrees yesterday, and this morning it's a little chilly, but the water is already shut off in this campground. They'll be shutting down this campground fairly soon for the season. Oh, I didn't realize it has a dump station here too. If you want winter camping in Governor Dodge, you have to go to Twin Valley Campground, and I did a complete tour of that a couple years ago. But today we're going to do the complete tour of Cox Hollow Campground. Now this is in, I'd say, 3 sections. There's a center section that is just a straight run with sites on either side, and that's where we'll start. And then there's a eastern loop and a western loop, and each one of those loops has a center run down the middle of it. So I'm going to have to dig up a map of this to show you where I am at any given time in that campground tour. Otherwise it's not going to make any sense. It has to be a walking tour. You can't drive this tour because everything's a back-end wooded site and you wouldn't see anything. But the sites are distinctively different from one to the other. Now, I had wanted to stay at the other end of the campground, but the bathhouses are shut down because they turned off the water, and the other end of the campground, there is no pit toilet. There's only a pit toilet at that end. So that's why we chose where we did. Now, a reason to choose Cox Hollow over Twin Valley is this one is closer to and somewhat in walking distance to the beach during that time of year, down at Cox Hollow Lake. Now there are 2 lakes in this park. This park is expansive. It is massive. There are many acres, 2 big lakes, and lots of other trails throughout, rock outcroppings on the outside edge. There's so much to explore here. And like I said, the last video I did here was the trail from here down through the canyon to the Stevens Falls. All right, that's the road in. You come up the hill from the canyon, from the lower section, come up, and you'll see the sign for 1 through 48 to the left, 49 through 118. So got 118 campsites to cover here today. This side looks like it's just the garbage cans, but it's actually the road into that section. Right in front of you is the camp host when they are here in site 1. And we're going to walk the center section, which is the narrow little strip of simple sites on either side. Now here in late October, this strip is already closed. This is site 2. They've kind of shut down parts of it already. You can only reserve certain sites. This is the kind where you have a parking pad that is sloping down, a step down to the picnic table and fire ring. Same thing over here, you can kind of see the step down. So that's site 3. It's a little harder to see some of these sites with all the leaves on them, but and this would be site 4 you're looking at now. 2 steps down. Somebody brought the picnic table up to the upper level. Then 4. Now, we got a couple walk-ins over here. 5, 6. Our park up here. And then go down below to their sites. So these are tent sites only. We've also got 1 to 85. So they've added an additional tent site. Just carved another one out. So the numbering system doesn't make any sense, but boy, are those colors pretty right now. Across from that, we skipped over 7. I'm going to show you that in its entirety like the other one. So this is similar to the last couple of them. So we have our step down place for your tent, fire ring, picnic table. And next to us, this is a closed section, but they're a bike camper. And I think they are allowed to kind of nab an available site. Now, I'm not sure how I missed this. There is a pit toilet in the middle. I didn't see it on the map before. So that's available too for this group of campers. 9 here again, pad, step down. These are not the smoothest pads. They're a little rough. Gravel pads. Let's see here. This one is 10. This one goes in and then wraps around. I'm going to get these on the way back out because they're in a different numbering system. So this would be 11. Now I think, let me just double check. Off the back of these, this is 11. Up here, and then step down for your fire ring. 12 over here, same kind of thing. Step, step down. The table's not anywhere near level. But I think the trail kind of sneaks by behind these campsites. But I'm not sure. So you've got a big drop-off canyon behind here. I'm looking at tree tops in the distance. Okay, that was 11, 12. Got 13 here. Now this one does not have a step down. This is all one level, and there's a nice leveler spot in the back there. None of these are electric, and that's why this campground is not open after the season. They leave those mostly for electric sites, so people can plug in at least heaters. This one's really interesting. At 14, we got a pad. There's another pad and then another step down. So there's these double step downs again. Then we're coming up, last site before the loop. And this is a double step 2 over here. And that is 15. Now to explain what's going on here, we have our bathhouse playground. So those are central to this loop. Go through the middle, and then you loop back one way and loop back the other. So I guess that's the direction I'm going. Hopefully the numbering makes sense. All right, bathhouse playground coming down. Our first site is the accessible site. They usually are near the restrooms. So this has a paved path that goes back up to the restroom. 17 on the left. That was 16 as the accessible site. 17 on the left. The numbering, they have done some interesting things here. This is 175. This one looks like it's been carved out here. It's more grassy, does not have a gravel pad. 18 here. Now we're going to get a bunch of people out here, so I'm going to lower my voice a little. 18 over here. 19, these are nice, small, good flat sites. 20 over here. That's a nice big flat site. We're going to go right first. 21 straight in front of me. Now we are up on a cliff. At this point we are actually overhanging in some areas where the hillside cuts away underneath. 22. This one is very slopey down. And it has a pad, step, picnic table and fire ring, large area down there. There are a few sites now that they have removed from the system. Like this one has no number and it doesn't show up on the map right now. 24 over here. Nice little site. So pad, it's still a little downslope, and then off to the side is your picnic table and fire ring. 25. Now, I'm just saying this now. Nice flat area there. Actually, I'll say it at the end. Okay, 26. This is the one that I thought I wanted initially. Mainly because it's nice and flat. I could easily park anywhere in here. And it's kind of got this little distant on the hillside vista through the thinning trees here. But there was no pit toilet down at this end of the campground. Let me just check out what's off the back here. Yes. There we go. Dropping off into the valley behind, off the rock outcroppings. Now the other sites have got fencing keeping it from falling off the edge. Out there. I was right thinking 26 would be a fabulous site. Just that one drawback of not having a bathroom nearby really kind of kills it for me. Okay, I'm coming to 28 first. Nice flat site on the inside circle here. That's a beautiful site. 27 on the outside. This one slopes down a little bit, not quite as flat. 29 on the left. .31 over there. Strangely, 30 is way up here. Back at the playground on the outside. 30 is a really slopey site. If you have a vehicle that you're sleeping in, I do not recommend it. But there is a nice flat pad back there for a tent. But when you reach the edge of the gravel, it drops dramatically. Okay, now we're playing weird numbering games. 180 over here. So site 180, smaller pad. I guess it's kind of flat for something small over there before we have the step down and off over there. Okay, that's 15, already been there. Now I gotta go back down the middle and then do the loop over there. Yay, a map. Started in the middle, 1 through 15, down the middle, outside loop, go back down the middle, do the other side of the loop, and then we'll go to the other side and figure that out. New for 2025. This is important news. Check-in time is 3 p.m. Check-out is now 1 p.m. It used to be like 3 and 3. There's now a changeover time. I don't know what the regulatory reason for that is, but that is now the rule. So if you are leaving a campsite, you can't stretch it out all the way till 3 anymore like we used to. And now in the grand scheme of things, there's the Cox Hollow Campground. There's the Twin Valley Campground. We're overlooking Cox Hollow Lake. There's also Twin Valley Lake and all this expanse. There's a lot of acreage here, including the group camps out here. I think there's also equestrian campground out there, backpack sites, and there are other equestrian trails throughout. Okay, we come back down the middle, hit the split. We're going left this time along the edge of the cliff. Like I said, there's chain link fence along the edge in this section. And our first one over here is 32. Small pad out front, then a little step as we go work our way back towards the fence. All right, 33 is our next one. Sorry about all the crunching. Definitely got a big step down after the pad here. Pad's maybe 30 feet and then it drops off. You're not getting anything big in there. 34 over here. Again, short pad, even shorter section that's flat, and then a step to the tables and another step to the fire ring, which is on the cliff edge. 35 is a big one. This one you can fit anything in, especially since you can pull up here and easily back in. This is an easy fifth wheel travel trailer back in site. They must have stole a picnic table over there because it's missing from here. 36 on the inside, flat. 37 overlooking the ravine. 38, another nice flat site. 39 on the right. This one slopes down initially and then has small flat area down below. 40 over here, generally pretty flat. 41, initial slope down, fairly long. And a nice little small pad down below, overlooking the ravine, looking towards the beach side now. Parking for the restroom and showers in there as well. This is the older style, just men's and women's, one side and the other. No family shower units in this one. 42, you can see the big log dividing parking pad, which is all slope, to the tent pad beyond it. .43. Now this is kind of nice. So this is your parking area. Tent over your area over here. It's cold. My mouth isn't working yet. And an expansive look into the woods that are just dropping away. Okay, the last one in the loop is 44. This one's a little rough up front. Nice tent pad down below. And that's, like I said, the last in the loop across from the playground. With water source normally. Now we're going to be doing the ones on the right side here on the way back. We've already done those. So our first one here, which is big. Is this a pull through? Oh, this is the double. 45 and 46. That's a double site. 46 entrance up there, but it's all connected. You're going to be sharing that with your neighbor. So here's the 46 side. You can fit a long trailer straight back in here, and then that shared fire pit with the neighbor over there. Now it's interesting that this side doesn't make it easy to see the numbers, but this is 47. Fair size. This does have a log dividing the pad from the tent area, again overlooking the hillside. Water source. And then we'll have 48 that we're looking at right now. And I have noted this many times, and this is another example. Don't try to burn that. It's not going to work. It doesn't fit in there. It winds up smoldering. If it doesn't fit in the fire ring, don't put it in there. All right, back at the middle. Now 49 through 118. Well, the system's going to send me straight ahead, 49 through 100 first. I think that'll bring me back around over there, and then I'll continue with 101 through 118 at the end, as it should be. 49, right on my left. Can't see it yet. 49 over here. We have a sad leftover Kong toy. All right, site 50. Small pad. Picnic tables up top for some reason. There's not a lot of room down below. If you have your tent down there, there's not room for the picnic table to share the space. So this is a nice small tent site. All of these are good for that. They can be for small trailers too. 51's got a little more length to it. Now this is why I love coming here and doing these tours off season. Number one, we got great color. Number two, there's nobody in them and I can really show you these sites. 52. This one's got a lot of green space to it. Now I'm going to back up just a hair here. There's a water source over here. There's also a trail. Let's see what's behind here. I see green space. So this isn't directly on the road. This is kind of between, in the middle of the circle of this loop. The highest numbers are on the other side there. Nice little green space to play games and swing set. Big and wide for 52. Pad's a little wonky, but there's a lot of room here to work with. 53, kind of similar. 54. Now we're close to the bathroom right now. This is the end of this part of this loop. Big open space. This is a beautiful, easy to use space. Accessible sites 55 across the way. It does have power. It's the only ones that have power. And this is the heart of this section with the older restroom here. We're going to continue straight on, I believe. Now across from the restroom is the dump station for this campground. Then we have 55, 56. It's a small double site. I would not call this a very big one. Barely room to park 3 cars up here. I guess you could fit 4 cars. And then pads for tents all the way around. So share that with a friend. And this is a pretty little stretch of road right through here. Okay, 58. Not the best site, but convenient to the bathroom. That's all I got to say about that one. 59 is on the left here. You can see there's a little bit of an upslope coming in on that pad. It's very long. It's got some good depth to it. Watch out, make sure you get out and look on this one because the fire pit is in ground. It does not stick up at all, so you don't want to drive into that. 60 on the other side. Oh, the sun is coming out. It's quite beautiful right now. This is fairly long. Picnic table is kind of the end of where you'd park in this site. Still staring at the colors. 61, very long pad, but it's all uphill slope, and then it levels off. 62. Pretty level pad, little downward slope, drops off right on the edges of it though, but good place for picnic table and fire ring. 63. I think this is where I stayed when I was here before. Or one of these along this stretch. This one's got an upward slope and then it levels off up there. Now I got another water source here and a green space behind again. Or this part of the loop, water source on the other side. And just a big open green field. So if you're staying in one of these sites near this, you can easily set up your cornhole or whatever back here. Play some bocce ball, anything like that. Check out that puffball mushroom under there. Honestly, it was 80 degrees yesterday. Okay. Let's do 64 first. 63 is a big back end. So 64, medium size, looks pretty level. Coming down to the end of the loop. Oh. Okay, this is 66 now. 64 was the one I was in before. 66, beautiful tree back there. That's gorgeous. It's a little spindly, but the colors are great. Not the best pad, not a very flat spot in here, but good for tenting. 65, completely leaf covered. All these leaves are gone on these trees, so it's hard to see what's going on here. 66, 68, or 67, 68. So a pair of sites. Not the biggest pair. They're really just one big site here. And it's definitely park up here, tent down below. 69 here next to the pit toilet. This one's not bad. You can find a level spot in there. 70 across from the pit toilet. Parking pad, step down to the tent and fire ring. 71. Over here, big step down, going out to the fire ring and picnic table. I am very confused by 72. We have a sign for 72. There's no 72. And I get the feeling they made 72 go away to make room for the pit toilet. So that's an irrelevant sign now. 72 doesn't exist. Don't come looking for it. 73. Over here. That one goes way down. And I see another big log in the back that is partially burned. Now, I'm saying this knowing that my wife just sent me a picture from our fire ring, and she's breaking the rules. 74 over here. The van is at the back of the parking pad, and then there's picnic table, fire ring space behind. 75 over here is a nice big site. It does sort of float down when you get to the back of that. Then we have 76. It's kind of tucked back over here along the edge of the Meadow Valley and Lost Canyon Trail here. So that can take you way out. You'll get to Stevens Falls and come back through the canyon behind here. That's 76, very wide. Do a lot with that one. 77. I guess we're clouding over today. Now we're sort of backing up to the ravine or the canyon behind us. A nice big flat site. '78. Nice flat site throughout here. 79. A little slopey, flattens out in the back. Nice green space over there that's grassy for a tent. And we'll have 80 on the left. Now 80 backs up to that green space. So on the other side of the water source is the green space. 80, not a huge one, a bit slopey. Fire ring definitely limits what you can do with it. We are over in 81. Take a look at that. Still cold? That's
I couldn't get the log to go. I mean, it's on fire, but it's not really on fire.
That's bad.
We're gonna be here for a bit.
Yeah. This time of year, that's a pretty sight. Would be a nice sight any time of year. All right, moving on to 82. So we go down straight all the way down, and I think we loop back around to that other loop. 82, nice and flat. Now again, remember, we chose this site rather than the other end because the pit toilet right around the corner. 83 here, not very big. It's a fairly small pad. '84 over here. Picnic tables in the flat spot in the pad. It could be off to the side. There's plenty of room for tents off on the side. Nice sights there. 85 over on the canyon side. Not quite as colorful as our site, is it? But that's what happens when you come here and pick your site on site, knowing there are sites available. 86 over on my right on the canyon side. This one is quite long. You can fit just about anything in there as long as you don't need power. Over here on this side is 87 and 88. This is right next to the dump station. It is a pair site, but it's convenient to the bathroom. So it has its ups and downs. Okay, 89 here. Now these, let me go off the back of this one. I see a little notch in the back. So this one, if you go out the back, I believe, follow the crowdsourced trail, and you come to the last canyon trail, upper portion of it, as it's returning to the campground. This trail leads to the trailhead over that way that I showed you before, down at the end of the loop. The trail goes down, it comes through the canyon, up and back around through here. Oh yeah, I see the crooked tree I remember up there. So this trail is right off the back of some of these sites. Get back up. 91 here, backs up to the bathrooms. Convenient in that sense. Bit of an upslope, very nice flat pad for your tent up top. 90 on the other side. That's a nice big site. Do a lot with that one. 92 over here. It's got a decent pad. Definitely an upslope coming in. And then levels off up top. 93. Nice flat site over here. Plenty of room. Nice bright tree in the back there. 95. Over here, lots of room to play there. That's a big open site. 94, I assume that's what that's trying to say. I don't know what happened to the number there. We got a water source here, slopey uphill. This is a great tent site. Beautiful place for tents. Not great for everything else. Yeah, oh, I see. Does say 9. Just somebody didn't paint the rest in. Or the other thing is they repainted the brown, painted over. So 96. Again, backing up to the trail. Over here, nice gravelly site. Now, 98, 99 over here. So this is a double on this side. Kind of wonky. You'll figure it out. But this is a shared site. Nice hard pack tent site up there. Another one way in the back over there. 97. Kind of coming up on the end of the loop here. So this one's got a huge drop off. If you go back too far, don't go past the tree, and then stairs going down to the pad for your picnic table and fire ring. All right, 100. Last one in this section. That's a pretty good site. It does have a downhill slope most of the way, and it flattens out the last bit. Now we're back at the center, where the come up the hill from the beach, where the dumpsters are. Now we'll do 101 through 118 over here. That's our last stretch. On the home stretch now. 101. Right away. That's all flat. Once we get down here, the whole pad is nice and flat. Got a group site over here, 102, 103. Figure out how you want to use that. 104 over here, bit of an uphill slope into this site. There's enough room for my vehicle to sit flat, and then it goes up again, kind of wonky. 105 here. If you want grass, this is a good grassy site. The pad is slightly gravel, but a lot of grass all the way around. This one, if you're tenting, I would prefer, because tenting on grass is much better than tenting on gravel. 106, smaller site over here. You can still fit something fairly long along the edge here, but it's still not a very big site. 107. Now the pad isn't very big, but there's a lot of room out there for tents, kitchen tents, whatever you want. There's a lot of room out there. Those beautiful woods. Okay, 110, fairly long pad, but you're going to want to park halfway back. Leave this open, because that's the water source and the green space back there that has the swings. And then you have your nice little space back here. So if you want easy access for your kids to go to the swings, this is a good one here. Across from that is 108 and 109, and those people are going to want to go over there too. So a big parking area up top. Ooh, what is going on here? We need to check this one out. Big parking area. You can actually have some campers up here. And I don't know what's happening down here. So obviously your picnic table and fire rings, and more logs like my wife put in that are half burned. We'll have to deal with that later. And I don't know what's going on back here. I don't think this is part of the site. It'd be kind of ludicrous if it was. Huh. Well, they've cleared it. Piles of wood, of trees over here, and a cleared flat space. There might be some future plans. If you come here in the future and they've done something with this, please leave a comment down below. This parking area is actually big enough that this could almost be more than a paired site, but more of a group site. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could fit 6 or 7 cars here, trailer with gear, something like that, and have all that room to camp back there. So who knows what they're planning here. You could fit a lot in here. 111 over here. Site isn't too bad. The pad is fairly flat. Then it slopes down to the picnic table and fire ring. 112 over here. Nice flat pad there too. 113. This is a nice flat site in the woods. with the hillside slipping away beyond it. Almost done here. 114 on my right. Again, a nice flat pad, and then the slope down to the picnic table fire ring area down below for tents. 115, a little grass here. That's kind of nice. Gets flat back in there. Very flat all the way back. So you can fit just about anything on that one. We get another pair, 116, 117. Okay, 116, 117. 4 cars might be able to squeeze up here. Separate space there, over here, which allows you to have your family's tents over there, their family tent over there, and in group space in the middle. 118 across from that is our last one. Slight slope up, levels off, and just about anything will fit in there as long as you don't need power. And you can actually get some sun on a better day than today. And that brings us back to the restrooms. So that's my complete tour of Cox Hollow Campground at Governor Dodge State Park. I have another complete walking tour of the Twin Valley Campground, as well as a separate one of just the winter portion of that. Because that campground is open all winter long, at least a section, one loop of it is, once they shut the water down. Right now the water's still on over there and the bathroom is still active. So this one is completely shut down, or almost completely shut down, and I expect in the next week or so is the end of the season here. So if you're looking for these sites, I expect that when people are doing these tours with me, they're probably sitting there on their computer or on their phone at wisconsin.goingtocamp.com looking at the campground maps, trying to figure out what campsite they're going to book, and seeing what's available to them. That's kind of my intent, is I'm going to show you through. You can look at the map, see what's available, then look through the video and see, do I like that site? Is that a good site for me or not? That is the intent with these videos. I don't expect people to watch them. I expect these to be reference books, and well into the future reference books. Now this one, I had someone reference my video from before here asking me some questions about the numbering, and I can see why. The numbering, there are some interjected numbers that have been added in the 180s or something like that, which are just kind of bizarre. And there are some missing numbers, like the one by the pit toilet and another one over at the other end. That's, you know, like, why is there a site but no number? It'd be a great place for a bike camper to pull in at night, so that's fine too. We are near the Military Ridge Trail, so bike camping is convenient to that. We are just outside of Dodgeville, kind of on the way to Spring Green. Got House on the Rock down the street. You've got American Players down the street. There's another state park down by Spring Green, Tower Hill, very small one, right along the Wisconsin River. But this campsite, this campground is quite big, and within Governor Dodge State Park, you got the bigger one. This one specifically, you could walk down to the beach or a quick drive down with the family during the summer. Now, I do really enjoy doing these campground tours kind of at the end of the season, pre-season, because I really can show you these sites. I try not to poke my head into someone's site when they're in it. And so just a couple of the sites I just kind of skimmed over because there were people in it. I don't like to poke my camera in people's faces without their knowledge and permission. But you can just see what they're like this way. I hope that's very helpful to you. So if this was useful, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Get on out there and watch the fall colors.